we had a meeting in Washington, D.C. that was a national workshop. There we actually had an all-day session with NGOs, but also allowed other NGOs not in Washington, D.C. to call in. And we went through the 25 theme reports, but broke them down into the main issue, the main questions, and the main recommendations. In a way, we got them into advocacy sheets. From there, we came to Geneva. We did a training with CIFEDOP, the International Training Center for Teaching Peace and Human Rights, and EIP, Ecole Instrument de la Paix. And we did a training with them to include U.S. civil society with other civil society that have been through the UPR and that are also involved at the same time as us in November. So this training was very important to get people working on the ground in New York City and in the Deep South to be able to see what the Geneva mechanism was like. We also did our first side event in June last year to then be able to share the information. From there, we were able to mobilize to make sure that at the September session, we came with a good delegation of roughly 12 people. This dynamic dozen was able to organize over 60 meetings with governments in the Serpentine as well as upstairs in the meeting room to make sure that all of the issues that were raised in our cluster theme reports were brought forward and put into the hands of the most important people. One important tool that allowed us to do this effectively was the UPR Info. We took the information from that and then matched up the countries with the issues, and that allowed us to focus and work better to make sure that the right countries were going to get the right information, and more importantly, would be inclined to raise the points as they had done in the past at previous UPR sessions. One final thing that we did on our way back from Geneva is we had a meeting with ambassadors in Washington, D.C. At the American University, we invited ambassadors to come and talk with us about issues they might want to share. So we had a great meeting on that Friday returning from the Human Rights Council to meet with them and talk in the country to give them the issues and recommendations one more time.